Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Double Game Week 22 live stream with me, Holly Shand. It has been quite the week in FPL. It should have been a quiet week. We had FA Cup weekend, but having all those blanks and doubles confirmed in the schedule has given us plenty to talk about. The craziest transfer window in January that I've ever known, with players departing like Cancelo and a load of new signings as well. Plus, it's a double game week, so lots of managers wondering whether to play chips this week, who's worth bringing in for a hit, who to captain. So lots to discuss today. I'm going to be with you for the next hour. I'm also going to be taking you through the managers' press conferences. So if you are joining me, please do say hello in the chat. It'd be good to know who's in. In terms of press conferences, there's loads of them to cover today. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on all of them. We've already heard from Pep Guardiola with John Stones, who is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. His press conference was at 12:30 this week. Some weeks it's 1:30, some weeks it's 12:30. We've got to hear from Bournemouth and Crystal Palace next, and then at 1:30 we'll hear from Brentford, Brighton, Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Southampton, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs, but not from Conte, unfortunately, who will be missing through illness. And then I think the Villa press conference is at 2:15. So do let me know as well when you say hello in the comments for which press conference injury news you're sweating on before you can confirm your team for double game week 22. And any other questions that you've got for this game week as well, let me know and I'll try and cover as many of them as possible. I'm hoping to get to 16k subscribers on this stream. I'm about 30 off at the moment. So if you are here and you're new and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It'll be great to do it on the stream today before the FPL deadline. It'll make me very happy. So first thing I'm going to do before I get to the chat is jump over and have a look at my FPL team, which is confirmed, I think, barring a catastrophe in the presses, but you never know, is confirmed for the double game week. So let me just press the right button. So I had 2 free transfers. I've used just one of them. I've taken out Kevin De Bruyne and I've brought in Bruno Fernandes. And I think I'm done at that. I'm going to line up in a 4-3-3 and play Botman over Almiron. That's my plan at the moment in terms of how to prepare for this double, because, you know, there's a lot of blanks coming in the schedule. 25 and 28 are both blanks that are going to be difficult to navigate. So to have 2 frees for next week will just give me lots of flexibility. Obviously, I've got just 2 City players for 23, one of them being Kyle Walker, who, you know, may not even start. So I probably need to use my transfers there. I've also got Martinelli. I'd prefer to own either of the other Arsenal attackers, midfielders, Saka or Odegaard. I could do Almiron to Mahrez next week. That's in my thoughts. I've got the funds to do it. I don't know how far off I am at the moment. I think I'm okay because I think Mahrez is only 7.7, so should be able to make that move next week to triple up, and I could potentially do Martinelli to Odegaard. I would have loved to replace Almiron with Matoma this week, but, you know, given the fact Matoma blanks in 25, I just decided that it wasn't worth it for my squad. But, you know, it's easy for me to bench Almiron. I mean, he probably will troll me and deliver now, but I'm really pleased with my 11 for this week. Captaincy on Rashford over Bruno was the decision that I've made, but that's where I'm at the moment in terms of setting up this team for the double game week. I've got Ben Crellin's Twitter page open so that we can reference all of those blanks and doubles that are coming up. Obviously, blank game week 25 is confirmed due to, can't find the graphic now, due to the League Cup final. Don't know where that one's gone actually. And then blank game week 28. Looks like we could have a lot of chaos for blank game week 28. I think we're going to have something like 5 fixtures not on, 4 fixtures on. So it's going to be a tricky one to navigate. Apologies for all the scrolling there, but hopefully you kept up with with what's going on there as well. So if I jump over to the chat, say hello to a few of you guys. It's great to see so many of you in today. So thank you so much for joining me. So in today, we've got FPL Focus, Light Rays, Gazman said, great job on Sky this morning. Yeah, I feel like I've had my face on a screen for most of the day today, but can't complain. Being on Sky Sports News is a great privilege. Pollard is in as well, as is Cyril, Yaheem, Chris is in as well, and Gerald. So lots of familiar faces. So thank you for joining. Keep letting me know in the chat as well any injury news that you want to hear about, and also in there any other questions that you want answering. I've seen a question about Stones already. That's one to look at. Light Ray says, what injury does John Stones have? It's a hamstring injury. I think it's something like his 5th hamstring injury of the season. And Ben Dinnery has tweeted the quote from Guardiola's press conference that he's 3 weeks to 1 month out, which is a problem now. Phil Foden is back available. Not that I think many people will want to go with him, but I also saw some strange comments from Pep. I think it was from City Extra about the left back situation with Cancelo gone. And he's mentioned Akanji in there. But then he's also mentioned that Ake was injured at the time, and he said that, here we go, this is it. Ake cannot play all the games, so that's obviously a concern over his fitness. Laporte can play there, Rico Lewis can play there, and Gomez. So there's a lot of rotation that could potentially happen for those managers with City defenders, which is a worry. But yes, Stones is out for 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. Gazman has said, Bruno or Rashford captain? I think it depends where you're at with things. I think both are very good captain options. Rashford has got the edge when it comes to numbers, and I'm going to use the I'll use the hub comparison tool just so that you can see. I'm going to filter this for just since the restart, just so that you get an idea of what each player is capable of. This tool, by the way, is available for Fantasy Football Hub users, members, and you can hit the link in the description to get 30% off your membership. But just comparing these two since the restart, Fernandes is the red, which obviously shows he's more of the creative player, whereas Rashford has got the goal threat. In terms of XG, have I got this set up right? Yeah. In terms of XG, obviously Rashford has the edge, 3 to 1.1. In terms of XA, it's 3.2 to 0.7 in Bruno's favours. But goals are worth more than assists, yeah? And I think Rashford could be on penalties. So I think in terms of expected goal involvement, Rashford is ahead. And obviously because it's more weighted to goals than assists, he looks on paper to be the better option. But in terms of a double game week, it's quite small. Sample size of only 2 games. So Fernandes could easily outscore Rashford as he did in double game week 20. So don't let that put you off. Just follow your gut on it. If you really fancy Bruno Fernandes, we should see an upturn in set piece involvement for Fernandes, given that Eriksen is injured as well. But between those two, either would make a good captain this week. I think, to be fair, I need to put my vice captain on Bruno Fernandes. So thank you for that. I nearly forgot that one. Yaheem says, I've got a back 5 of Ben Mee, Thiago Silva, Shaw and Trippier. That's only 4. You're trying to confuse me. Chris has said, up the Wolves. I'm guessing you are a Wolves fan, Chris. I am a supporter of Wolves being in the Premier League because obviously I do some work for them. So glad to see that they're out of those relegation spots. Yaheem says, triple captain Rashford and also got Saka in midfield. Yeah, triple captain. If you've still got the triple captain chip, guys, it would be great to play it this week. I think for me, it is the best time left this season to play that triple captainship if you haven't done so already. That's just something to look out for. You've got double game week 23 where obviously you could triple captain Haaland, but the fixtures aren't as good as Rashford this week. So that's why I'm leaning towards going with Rashford this week, essentially. At FPL Focus, how did you get home so quick from the Sky Sports studio? Yeah, unfortunately not in the studio on a Friday. It's only on the Saturday shows where I get to go there. But yeah, it was fun all the same over Zoom. Yahim says, want to take Almiron out next week and bring a City midfielder in, preferably Mahrez. Yeah, I'm looking at the same move. Pollard said, which Chelsea defender should I get? I mean, the new guy. Is it If I have his name in front of me, I might be able to pronounce it. Bear with me. I'm not even starting with the right letter, am I? Badiashile. Started 2-2 in the league. 2 clean sheets, 2 bonus points. He could be a good option at 5 million, but, you know, you've got to know the risks. The thing is with Thiago Silva is that he's constantly having those little injury issues, trying to as well think about the fact that he can't play as many games in quick succession. So that's something to look at as well. That means that Badiashile could be the one, but I think you need to give it another week or so before you can say that he's truly nailed. Ariane says, no one that isn't Kepa. Said the same. Silva the most nailed. James might be back playing. Yeah, that is an interesting one. The flag has been removed from the FPL website, so hopefully Reece James, we will see him back soon. FPL Focus has said, please like and subscribe. Yeah, it really helps me to grow the channel. As I said at the start, I'd love to get to 17, jumping ahead of myself, 16,000 on this one. Mitoma is a risky transfer, says Yahim. I've got to agree with you there. Risky in terms of you're not going to get many fixtures out of him potentially, but I think Ben mentioned, if I can find, I was on Ben's profile, wasn't I, before? Not that Ben. Here we go, this Ben. That Brighton have got a bit of a build-up of blanks, and there's potential for Brighton to have a double between the 2 blanks. So Ben's forecasted it in this sheet that they could potentially double in 26 or 27. So it is a small chance. So you could play the odds there and decide to get Mitoma anyway if you've got a good feeling. I mean, I think I may regret not making the extra transfer of Almiron out to Mitoma, but I just fancy those 2 frees for next week when I've not got an optimal City triple up yet. I've got Martinelli that I'm on the fence. I really do think that Martinelli could come good this week, though. If you look at his numbers, he's not performing badly. I mean, I'm not going to compare him with Odegaard. Yeah, let's just compare him with Odegaard. I mean, yeah, now obviously you've got Saka in there who's got pens, but at the end of the day, I can't get to Saka easily at the moment. But, you know, bit more creativity from Odegaard. But Martinelli's been doing well as well in terms of shots in the box. He's ahead, shots as well. Chances created, he's not too far behind. It's the XA he's behind, but the XG is ahead. So, you know, it could happen. If we look at the same with Saka, it looks like he's outperforming Saka on basically every metric. But, you know, if Arsenal get a pen, then that's obviously going to bump him ahead. FPL Focus has asked, who has triple United for this double? I guess I can see why people maybe have only gone 2 and maybe we've just got Rashford and Shaw and decided not to go Bruno Fernandes. For me, I've already played my triple captainship, so if I aren't playing the triple captainship this week, then I know I'm going to struggle with rank anyway, and I feel like not going with the triple up will just put me further behind. So that's the reason why I've gone with the triple up and got Bruno Fernandes in this week, even though I could reverse a transfer and get De Bruyne back. John has said, would you start Gabriel or Shaw this week? I mean, I'd want to start both if I were you. I think I would... Charles got a little bit more goal threat. Gabrielle, I think the assist is... Not the assist, the clean sheet is a little bit more secure. Is it though? Because Newcastle got 6 in 6. Where are the clean sheet odds? I'm looking for FPL Salah because I know he always puts them out. So Arsenal 52% for a clean sheet, 48% for a Newcastle clean sheet. But I would find another way. Tell me what other options you've got as well. Izan says, is KDB to Bruno worth a -4 considering Bruno's home form hasn't been great for 12 months? Yeah, you're fine. How's Martial? I think he played some minutes in the League Cup semi-final second leg, so I think you've got to hold Martial now. Hope he gets some minutes. I can see FPL Harry is in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us, Harry, and supporting the channel. You've been doing big things this season, so well done for that as well. Jarrell has said, currently happy with my starting 11, but it's taking a hit for Odegaard and starting him over Solly March. A good idea. I don't think it's worth taking a hit this week if it gives you a benching headache. I think next week will give us even more benching headaches, but that's just FPL for you. Jarrell has said Bruno loves to score against Leeds. He loves a double game week as well. I think he's got double digits in 3 of the last 4. Matthew said, should I bench Kane or Tony? These benching dilemmas are tough, man. I mean, I feel like I fancy Kane to score, but then you can't bet against Tony at home. Let's have a look at the goal scorer odds, see if that helps us. You see, it's going to be it doesn't really... Tony's in there, Kane isn't, but you can't bench Kane, can you? Kane should never be on your bench. I do understand some have got absolute nightmare benching things. Chris says, how do you feel about our new signings FPL-wise? Yeah, not really looking at them at the moment. The only new signing of any club I'm really interested in right now is Mudryk at Chelsea. I think he could be a really, really good option. FPL Focus said I used my triple captain last week. I'm guessing because of the crying emoji it wasn't on Haaland because he got, was it a 17-pointer? Red Devil has said SoRare content soon. Potentially. You've probably seen guys on here or on Twitter. SoRare, well, you'll have seen the ads on the Premier League website as well. SoRare have just signed with the Premier League. It's another fantasy game. It does have paid competitions. Looking at, sorry, I can't find the graphic now to show you. There we go. It does have some paid competitions where you can buy cards, a bit like Panini stickers. But the new thing that have launched for the Premier League is this draft game. They've ran something called the SoRare Global Cup, which I got involved in. And now that they've joined with the Premier League, they've got this new Premier League draft game. And I've got my own mini league as well, where you can get some Premier League tickets. So the top 3 in the mini league will win a pair of Premier League tickets, which is really exciting. And I think by the sounds of things, you should be able to choose whatever game you want to go to, because I think because SoRare and Premier League have got this relationship, they've got a certain quota of tickets for every matches. So the mini league, it starts today at 3 o'clock. So if you want to join, you're going to have to get on with it, guys, because you've only got about an hour and a half. But the scoring is going to run for the next 7 game weeks. If my maths is right, yeah, I'm right. And essentially, if I show you the home page on SoRare, so you have to obviously make an account and stuff, but once you've done that, you'll get to this page. So you've got an hour and 40 minutes till this kicks off, but it's the Premier League Amateur, which is the competition that you need to enter, which is linked to the mini league, and you get a budget of 400 points, and you have to select 8 players, 2 goalkeepers, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 forwards. And then from that 11, you then choose a team of 5. So you can choose like 3 really cheap players, but then you choose your team of 5. So a goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward and an extra player. And then you pick a player to captain as well, and they'll accumulate points. It's a bit of a more detailed scoring matrix than we see in the Premier League. So if you've played other fantasy formats before, you'll get to know like your DMs will get you some points on SoRare that makes them a bit more attractive those players that are really bossing it for creating chances, having lots of shots on goal, things like that, do really well. But it's going to be a lovely little competition to get involved in. And I think, you know, it's huge that Premier League have signed with SoRare. It's the first time that we've seen the Premier League endorsing another fantasy type game. I know they've been linked with Panini in the past, and this is a bit of a crossover between collectibles and the fantasy football element. But, you know, there is paid entry competitions as well, and you can buy cards. I bought a few cards from they're basically minting all these Premier League cards as well, which you can get involved in. Obviously I've not been playing it that long, so I'm still finding my way, so I've bought a few cards on there as well. But if you want to get involved as well, if you click the link in the description for this video, you can get a free card when you buy 5, and it'll also get you entry into the prize league as well. It is my affiliate link, so I will get a little bonus if you do buy cards. But as I said, that mini league is absolutely free to play, and you know, potentially in the future I'll do a bit more content on SoRare as well. Heading back to your questions then. David is in from Melbourne. Thank you for joining. Ariane says Badia Show probably the best. Also won't be selected for the Champions League as we can only select 3 new signings. That could be huge if that's true, Ariane. I haven't personally looked into it myself, but you know, it does look like that could be a little bit of a deciding factor if we may be choosing between Chelsea players. FPL Focus has said that his move is shoring for Gabriel. That is bold, but I guess if you're moving to a triple up on attacking Arsenal players, that makes sense. And Nketiah in his thoughts for next week. I mean, we're far-reaching today. We've got Wenyi, who is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm just in Grimsby. It's not that exciting up here, so it's nice to see all these different places that everyone is from. And Wei Ying is from Singapore. Did Salah to Fernandes. It's probably the easiest transfer you'll make all season, that one. Might do Fernandes to De Bruyne or Mahrez next week. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. If there's another way to get to Mahrez without signing Bruno Fernandes, that could be good as well. But any thoughts on those moves, you know, is really, really good to see. 40 of you have liked the stream, so thank you so much, everyone. I'm still, I've had a few new subscribers, but I'm still about 30 off getting to 16k. So if you can help me get to it on the stream, I'd be absolutely buzzing, guys. So if you are new and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Sitter says, any update on Reece James? The flag's gone, so I think maybe the news is that he's available. I think if you've kept him this long, which some people did do, by the way, I think he's still in a large proportion of squads, then you can hope for minutes. And one of the good things about Chelsea assets is that they've got a fixture in game week 28 against Everton at home as well. So the fixtures are quite nice as well, looking mid to long term. So I think it's a good time to jump on board Chelsea assets, but we kind of need to get all these double game week transfers out of the way first. Harry is on triple captain Rashford. I might actually do a little poll to see where everyone is at this week. I'm going to keep it simple, so please excuse me if I've missed off your potential moves, but I'm going to ask who you're captaining this week, and the options are going to be Rashford, Fernandes, and then triple captain Rashford, triple captain Fernandes. No one's doing anything other than that, are they? Surely not. Be good to see where everyone's at. But good luck, everyone, that is playing that triple captainship this week. I am a bit jealous of having... I mean, I'm still a bit annoyed, right? So I triple captained Haaland in double game week 19. No. Double game week 18? No. Double game week 20. Try again. And he got me 1 goal and 8 points across the double game week. The next week, he plays 60 minutes against Wolves and he gets a 17-pointer. Like, where was that in double? Anyway, it wasn't a blank from a triple captain, but it wasn't the double digits that I hoped for. Fansel said, did you take a minus for this? No, I've just used one transfer and I've got one left. FPL Focus. Martinelli just signed a new contract, so his goal bonus is higher. Expect more goals. That is interesting. When did he sign that? When did he sign his new contract? Has he played in the Premier League since? And I was kind of aware that it was going on in the background, but I haven't actually looked. Coded says, what about Odegaard? Yeah, I could still do Martinelli to Odegaard. It's something that I'm looking at. I'm not going to do it this week, though. It feels like too much of a luxury move, but it is going to be something that I'm going to be looking at doing soon. Curtis says, will Pedro Porro be the new Cancelo? I mean, it's the first wing-back that Spurs have had that could truly be able to do what Conte wants from a full-back. So he's one to keep an eye on, and I think he came in at 5 million, so he could be quite a good option. But again, just like to wait and see. Obviously, this week isn't the week to bring him in. Then Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, Southampton. Let me just check. Can't remember if Spurs is yes. Likely blank in 28. Now that is, hang on, if I get the right graphic from Ben. I'm a little bit invested in this one. Well, it's pretty much going to go ahead, isn't it? But Grimsby play Luton in the FA Cup 4th round replay, and if they beat Southampton, then it could mean Spurs Southampton is on, but obviously it depends on Southampton not making the 6th round either, which, given that it's Sheffield United or Wrexham, you would think that they do. Ethan said, do you support Grimsby? I mean, I used to. Whether I'm still that committed, I don't know. I think when we dropped out of the league, my enthusiasm dwindled a little bit, but I do still keep an eye on them. But, you know, I'm basically fully focused on FPL at the moment. Wenji says, we have triple United players, Captain Rashford, Vice Bruno and Luke Shaw. Yeah, let me see how the poll's going, by the way. 71 votes already, so thank you for getting involved in that. Rashford captain is 72%, 19% on triple captain Rashford, 5% Bruno Fernandes and 3% triple captain Bruno. To be fair, I am a little bit surprised that not more people are going with Bruno Fernandes. It could be, you know, a great way to jump up in rank in the next few weeks. So that's an interesting one as well. Thank you, by the way, to all of the new subscribers. We're getting there. We're closing in on 16k. Just going to have a look at how things are going on the tweet deck. The 1:30 press conferences should be coming up soon. It looks like things are all set at Leeds United for the very least. Zaha out for a couple of weeks, if anyone wanted an update on him. I can't see a lot else significant that's going on at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on things. We're going to just get a massive run of things, but we've already seen quite a few presses already today. Let me get back to putting my team on screen as well, so you can all see with the moves that I've made and how I'm setting up for this one. Victor says bench Kane or Nketiah. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying bench Kane. I would like to know your other options, if I'm honest. Coded says I have Mudryk. Yeah, nice pick, and he's 7 million. He could be a little bit of a bargain at that price, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. Light Ray says bench Kane, Mitro or Martinelli. Mitrovic. Brandon has asked for FPL league code. I mean, there was one point earlier in the season where I probably had it memorised. I think it's gone out of my brain now. It's in the comments for the video. 96EP NP. I will just drop that link to SoRare in the chat as well for anyone that was thinking of signing up as well. Someone asked me a question on SoRare as well. Are the player prices based on their current forms? Yeah, I think it's something like their last 15 or 17 games. One of those, I can't remember which one off the top of my head. Mohammed says, thoughts on James Ward-Prowse? Southampton's not good, but he's getting all the points. Yeah, I think he's got a little bit more of a licence to be forward. He's been playing as a 10 rather than an 8 in recent games, which has helped him in terms of his involvement from open play, but it has hindered him a little bit in the past. But obviously that set-piece involvement is also always there as well. Brad says bench one, Kane, March or Odegaard. I mean, sometimes with these benching dilemmas, guys, this is the reason why I hate benching Kane. Sometimes if you look at their ownership, that could help you. So Kane is currently 36.1% owned. Odegaard, 33.7% owned. March is a differential, 6.2%. So if you bench Kane or Odegaard and they deliver, they're going to hurt you. Whereas if you bench March and he delivers, then, you know, you're not going to see a massive fall in rank. So that'll be my advice there. Another one in the chat with Mudrik and Badiashil. I will learn to pronounce these names eventually. Ryan says, what about Mitro out Weghorst? Martial is back for United, and I think his first choice if fit, so I think that just puts Weghorst minutes in doubt enough. Doddy says Kane and Almiron out, Nketiah and Bruno in. Yeah, I think you can get away with that. I'm not a massive fan of selling Kane, but if it gives you a route to Nketiah and Bruno and gets rid of Almiron, then it'd probably pay off. Matt says, is it still worth bringing in Matoma and just ignore the fact of the blanks with the form and fixtures? Probably. It's probably the sensible move. I'm going to regret not doing it myself, I can tell. Right, let's head back over to the tweet deck while we're waiting for updates. Please subscribe. Get me to 17k. FA Cup 5th round tie. Fixture information is through, but that's not particularly exciting for us. Marshawn Rodrigo, this is really unfortunate. I think like 200k managers had brought in Rodrigo for the double and now he's out for 2 months. Small contact fracture in the bottom of his tibia. Yeah, it's not great, is it? It's frustrating. Forshaw, Dallas Gray, all still out as well for Leeds, if anyone was looking at Leeds assets. Nothing else that I can see so far. It's just regurgitating things that have been out earlier in the day. So I'll jump back to questions. I'll tell you what, I'll leave the tweet deck open for now, and then if we see anything else exciting, then we can hop back over. Right, I'm 31 off 16k, guys. So if you haven't subscribed yet, get it done. Right, let's get back over to the chat. I've lost my place in the chat. There's so many of you in, so thanks so much, guys, with all these questions. A question on triple captain on Arsenal in one of their likely doubles. Yeah, the trouble is, I don't think the fixtures are good enough in 23. And then, you know, a lot of the doubles that we're expecting later in the season are going to be weeks where we may want to bench boost or free hit. I'm looking at 29, for example, and 34. So you may not get that opportunity. And the other thing to bear in mind is that Arsenal are out of the cups as well. So the likelihood for getting double game weeks therefore decreases. Chris said he's just checked to see that he's a subscriber. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that, buddy. We're now 30 away, guys. I should have, if I was a bit more tech savvy, I'd have set up a little countdown. Dan said he's watching all the way from Wolverhampton. Lovely part of the world, Dan. I visited once back in September. It's better than Grimsby, put it that way. Peter says, love your work, keep it up. Thank you, Peter. What do you think about Ten Hag last time disciplining Rashford and didn't put him in the first 11 a few weeks ago? Do you think it'll happen again? No, I think it was just a one-off. I think post-Ronaldo, Ten Hag, for want of a better word, just needed to show everyone who was boss. And, you know, Rashford hasn't looked back since, so it's not a concern at all. Marsh has said he's impressed by what he's seen from George Rutter and says he's ready for big challenges. There's so much depth. Also said about the FA Cup, wanted to give Rodrigo and Bamford the benefit of time on the pitch together. I'm really intrigued by how Bamford will perform in this double game week. We know he loves FPL, right? So it could just be that he, you know, captains himself in the game, potentially triple captains himself in the game, and then we see a massive haul from him for the double. Let's hope anyway. I mean, he's not in my team, but hopefully he's getting there. 27 away now from 16k, guys. I mean, is it going to incentivise you if you come up with something that I should do if I get to 16k? Let me know in the chat if there's something that you think I should do. Within reason, guys, within reason. David is on triple captain Rashford. Yes, I don't think the votes have changed too much in the poll. Quite a few of them in. 17% of you on triple captain Rashford. Rashford's definitely going to have over 200% ownership though, which is going to mean that I need him to blank. Not that I need him to blank, but it's a wrong phrasing. I need him to, every time he scores a point, he's going to give me a red arrow. But hopefully, as you can see with my team, which I'll put on the screen again, hopefully this squad is good enough. I feel quite confident this week. I mean, I should be, because last week I got a 95 pointer. I think it was just Martinelli and Gabriel that blanked. So I'm feeling confident going into this one for sure. Have we got any more news through? It seems a bit quiet in these pressers. I don't think anyone was particularly waiting for something, but we'll keep an eye on it anyway. Oh, FPL Focus, 3 hours ago for Martinelli contract. Yeah, surely he's got to celebrate that contract with a goal. Brad says bench. Oh no, I've answered that one already. FPL Focus says, I'm looking to Nketiah, but seeing Jesus on the grass kicking the ball lightly worries me. Will Jesus get that high ownership again? I mean, to be fair, I don't think Jesus' ownership's slipped particularly. 26.6%. I mean, a lot of them will be dead teams, of course. He's the 13th most owned player in the game, and he hasn't played since November. Madness. Hayden says you should pin important messages about key players from press conferences in the chat. Yeah, I'll try and do that. Chloe, thank you for joining. Nice to see you facing. I'm not sure what to do at the moment with captaincy. My only transfer will be Mings in for Robertson. Yeah, I think Aston Villa assets are going to be quite popular, given that they've got a fixture in 25 and 28 and 32, which are all blanks. And they're nice fixtures as well, Everton, Bournemouth, Brentford. And, you know, the longer term schedule for them is fairly kind as well. 22 subscribers away, guys, by the way. So thank you so much, those of you that have subscribed to the channel while you've been watching. Really do appreciate that one. Let me make sure that I've still got half an eye on this tweet deck, just in case anyone is looking for anything important. Zerbi is in now. Imagine if he said he had an injury. FPL Focus says he loves the tweet deck. Have you not seen it before? Honestly, it's a great little tool. Mark Richards says, Bruno captain, not tripling yet. That's next week for me. Yeah, I think that's a good one as well. Carol is in the chat as well. Greetings from Malaysia. Hello. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you for that, Carol. Radu says, still got one transfer left. Should I get rid of Rodrigo now? Playing Greenwood in his place for now. Yeah, I wouldn't be convinced on minutes for Greenwood at all. especially when you've got Nonto and Bamford available. He started 1 since the restart. Like, you're going to get 1 and 1 at best. I think replace Rodrigo. I know it's unfortunate, but those points, that 4-point transfer is lost now. I think you need to get a replacement in. Keep losing my place in the chat. I always know it's a good stream and there's a lot of you in if I'm losing my place. Daniel says Almiron out for Martinelli for a -4. I don't know if Martinelli would be the Arsenal attacker I'd invest in right now. I think I'd buy Odegaard and Saka over him, even though I've got Martinelli in my team. I'm guessing you own Odegaard already and can't afford Saka. But have you got a route to Nketiah that would be more sensible? It's a bit team dependent, that one. Dino says, bench Robbo, me or Martinelli? Let's have a look at these clean sheet odds again. Because I think Van Dijk's back, right, isn't he? Is he back? I thought he was due back. No, he's still flagged. Robertson has 5 assists this season. I mean, Harry will vouch for Ben Mee when it comes to his goal scoring form. Let me find the right tab. So just in terms of clean sheet odds, Liverpool 36%, Brentford are 40%. So I think it's going to have to be benching Robertson. Sounds crazy, but it's probably the move. Wolves scoring away from home is not their forte, though. Nick says, good move, Fernandez in for Salah. Yeah, probably one of the easiest transfers you'll make. Get it done is what I'd say for that one. Garav says, will Malacia start? I don't think so. I think it's probably wishful thinking. He only started when United was waiting for Martinez to come back from the World Cup. That's why he started in 17 and 18. And I can't remember the reason why he started in 20, but we saw all those games Shaw was playing centre-back, Martinez was on the wing. But yeah, since Martinez has been back, Shaw's been back at left-back. I can't see Malacia playing. Obviously, Shaw missed a bit of game time last week through illness, but he's back now. He played in the League Cup semi-final second leg. I'm getting a lot of these questions of who would you start, A or B. I think it's just a sign of the times, of the difficulty of preparing for this game week. Now 19 subs away, guys, from 16k. So please help me get there. There's 200 of you in at the moment. If you don't subscribe already, go hit that button for me, please. Stephen says, would you start Cucurella or White? It's got to be White, hasn't it? Arsenal are above Chelsea in the clean sheet percentages. White, you think, would start, so I think that's an easy one as well. Clive says, any update on Enzo starting against Fulham? I think I saw somewhere that it wouldn't be available. Don't know whether that was like a permit thing. I don't think they've got him like registered in time, if that's a thing. Whatever registering they need to do. I think that's right. If anyone knows, let me know exactly, because I tell you what. Let me just search it on Twitter. Someone will have said something somewhere, surely. Can't actually see anything at the moment. It's more like transfer stuff. Thing is, if you follow Fabrizio, then it just goes down. Oh, yeah, awaiting registration, look. There you go. So that's that little headache answered. Mark says, who do I bench? Rashford, no. Matoma, Saka, Bruno, no. Odegaard, no. Haaland, no. Nketiah, no. It's going to be Matoma. Yeah, probably Matoma. Daniel says, need to pick between Højbjerg and Andreas in midfield and Bueno and Castagna in defence. Thoughts on who to pick? I mean, you need a better team, Daniel, if I'm honest. Højbjerg shouldn't really be an FPL option. I'd definitely start Andreas. Bueno or Castagna in defence. Who have Leicester got this week? Villa away. What are the clean sheet odds again? Leicester are at 23%. Wolves are at 20. Flip a coin. Buy a new defender would be my advice if you haven't already taken the hit. And 13 away, guys. This is getting quite exciting. I'm going to put it on there, look. 13 subs away from 16. Help me out, guys. I'll be buzzing. It'll make my weekend. Might even have a glass of gin tonight to celebrate. Femi, bench one of Darwin, Mitrovic or Botman. Darwin? No, I think probably Mitrovic, if they say. Elsker, Bruno is a point merchant at the moment. Yeah, I am really surprised that not more people are going captaincy with him because I don't think it's that far away. Oh, here we go, guys. This is where I've been going wrong. If I put it on the screen before, you'd all be smashing it. Thank you there, guys. Do appreciate it. Sorry, I've lost my place in the chat again. There's going to be a point where I'm not going to be able to answer everyone's questions in the chat. But for now, I'm small time enough that it's all right. Another agreement on Darwin bench. Now, I think it needs to be Mitrovic. Moobsy, should I bench KDB for Matoma in case he gets benched again? No, I don't think he will get benched in that game. El Nico says, I missed you, Holly. Good morning for Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, thank you for joining. I wish it was still morning here. Aria says, bench one of Cucurella or White. I think I'd bench Cucurella. Mike, Kane for Nonto to free up cash to enable. Oh, who's unsubscribing, guys? What are you doing to me? Don't worry, we'll get there. Kane or Nonto to free up cash to enable Fernandes and then Saka. Potentially that would work. I really don't like selling Kane though, because if you look at the fixtures, I know it's City this week, but then it's Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, and then Brighton and Bournemouth and Everton later. No, we're going up again, guys. We're going up. It's fine. We're close. We're really close. Yes, we've done it. Thank you, guys. You're legends. I'm loving that. To get to 16k, I would love to get to 20k by the end of the season, but just to hit 16k on this stream, I'm really pleased with that. And who's going down? So someone's obviously decided, oh, it's gone over. She didn't need me. She didn't need me. I need all of you. But no, I really do appreciate that, guys. It really does help me to keep growing the channel and putting out content for you. I've been smashing it with the shorts recently as well. So done a few fun little topics on there. So hopefully you've been avoiding them as well. Who said no audio? I think everything's working. All looks okay at this end. Oh, thank you, guys. Anya says, congratulations, Rodrev has done a little celebratory face. A double gin, says Richie. Oh, it's going down again. Don't do this to you. Right, I'm going to take it off the screen now because it'll upset me if it goes down again. Can't do that to me, guys. Once you're in, you're in. It's all right. There is some loyalty here. It just means I can celebrate again. If I have a gin every time it goes from 15,999 to 16, I don't think I'd make the nursery run. Thanks there, guys. I have got a little bit sidetracked on that though, and completely missed where we was with the press conferences. Richarlison's got a small problem apparently for Spurs. Lots more from Marsh. Yeah, so from Spurs we're hearing from assistant Christian Stellini today, who is in for Conte, who is in hospital at the moment having had surgery. John says, I have KDB and Haaland, best third defender from City for double game week 23. Mahrez? I think it's Mahrez. It's got to be Mahrez. That would be my thoughts on that one. It's got to be Mahrez. Mike says, do I just do the boring KDB to Fernandes? I think that's what you got to do. We've got a super chat in from Sandeep. Thank you. Just says, big up Polly, absolutely well deserved. Thanks very much. If you've got any questions, by the way, just drop them in the chat and obviously I'll make sure to get those answered for you as well. Loving life. Oh, another one. Oh, thank you, Rudrat. FPLRJ. Oh, thank you. If you're on Twitter on that handle as well, I'll go and check you out. You know, really appreciate the support, especially on the super chats as well. Zayed is in from Tunisia. We're growing, guys. It seems to be a lot of you in Asia at the moment today. FPL Veteran says, how are we, Holly? Yeah, very good, thank you. Thank you for asking. Yaya, you was the one that got in my head the other day about Almiron up to Mahrez. I'm still considering that move. I've still got the funds to do it, so it's something that I'm going to be looking at. Carl must help me with my pronunciation. Badiashile. I did practice yesterday because I did a little bit of a quick short on the new signings and obviously had Mr. Badiashile in there. So hopefully I'll have that down before it becomes a proper asset. Nothing else new coming through right now. Dino says, oh no, I've done that one already. Karama says, I don't think Arsenal will keep clean sheets in 2 or 3 of the next matches. Interesting. I think they'll be all right. I do think they'll be okay. So surely Everton, but is it new manager bounce? Brentford at home. Surely they can keep a clean sheet, Brentford at home. But yeah, I can see why you might want to, move your Arsenal assets around for a triple up. Chloe says, I don't have my bench boost, but I've got my free hit wildcard and triple captain. I'm not sure which way to go at the moment. It'll become clear, don't worry. FPL BMR bench Zinni or Shah. Maybe Zinchenko just. That's a close one though. Maybe look at altering your formation if you've got to bench one of them. I don't mind like a Mitrovic bench this week or an Almiron. A question from Wenyi about Man City defenders to bring in next week. Stones is out for 3 to 4 weeks, so he's not an option. Ake, Kanji, I don't know, it's slim pickings at the moment, but I think in terms of City assets, yeah, Laporte is back, Diaz is back. Could Diaz be the one? I mean, he's expensive for what he gives. So that's something that we've got to bear in mind. But yeah, there's options there, guys. If we give it one more week, and this is why, I think even if you've got Cancelo, providing you don't need him this week, I would maybe hold off one more week before making the decision, because we may get a little bit more info. It's not going to be a lot, but a bit. Mike, is Saka injured, missed training and out of squad? I mean, I haven't heard that. Let's do a bit of digging on Twitter. I find Twitter is the oracle, guys. I am a bit of a Twitter fan. Can't see that anywhere. I mean, I can't see anything, so it's news to me. It's news to me. I'm going to brush over that one. Question on Saka or Odegaard. I think I would go with Odegaard of the two. FPL Focus said I got Bailey for the Leicester game. Yeah, I think he's a good option. Hugo, De Bruyne and Matoma or Bruno Fernandes and Mahrez for the next few weeks? Fernandes and Mahrez, hands down. Orange says, would it be worth it to start Dallo this game week back in training? I can put him in place of Kane. I mean, he didn't come back. Last time when he was back fit, he didn't even come in straight away, did he? He played some sub-minutes. It was after the restart. He played 21 minutes against Bournemouth, then got injured again. I think Ten Hag's going to have to be careful with him. So, no, I don't think it's worth benching Kane for him. Richie says, I'm torn between Bruno and Rashford captain. Bruno loves a haul, v Leeds at home. Yeah, I mean, it's 50-50. I honestly think, I mean, it's probably, if you look at the numbers, it's probably 60-40. Like, if we look at the points prediction tool on Hub, so you can get this if you remember. There's a link in the description to get you 30% off, and you can do this for any game week, position, player price, number of game weeks, etc. Rashford's at 14.6, Bruno Fernandes is at 12.8. You know, it could easily be that Fernandes outscores Rashford, that there's just a couple of points in it and they both hit double digits. So if you fancy going Bruno Fernandes, then I'm not going to discourage you. I think he's a really good option as well. And I would also triple captain either of them. If I had my triple captain left, I'd be doing it this week. King says bench Mitrovic or Mbomo. I think I'd bench Mbomo because at least Mitrovic has got pens. Hopefully Kepa saves a Mitrovic pen. I mean, given Mitrovic's form and Kepa's form, that could easily happen. Right, I'm just going to hop back over to the tweet deck to see if there's anything else interesting coming through. But I don't think there is. It's been a quiet one on the presses today. I mean, it is a good job because, you know, it's been tough last few weeks. But I am going to start to wrap things up there, guys. So thank you so much for helping me get to 16k subs today. Really appreciated all of the support on that one. The poll results are in for the United captaincy situation. Rashford narrow leader on the triple captaincy and the leader overall as well. So good luck anyone playing triple captaincy this week. Hopefully he smashes it for all of us. And don't forget as well to if I find the right tab, I'll get there eventually. Don't forget as well to check out that game on SoRare. You've got about an hour if you want to get your entries in on that one. As I said at the top, the link for that is in the chat now, and it's in the description for the video as well if you want to get on board that. But good to go in the mini league, and if it's one of you guys on here that wins, then I'll come to the Premier League game with you. So it's well worth getting involved. But honestly, it's been great today. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for the support, the super chats as well, getting me to 16k. I'm buzzing about that. Hope you have a great double game week 22 and a great weekend as well. And I'll be back very soon with some more videos. So bye for now.